Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is wrestling in review of the annual, and then this is your week NXT review. We started off this, we started off with last night's episode with Jada Parker up again and up against Ashley Agent. This was a really good opener. Kind of more of a brawl. Kind of more of a brawl versus a powerhouse. Ultimately, though, Ashley Agent uh, ultimately, Ashley Legend gets a victory with the more Ash extension, but she hits it twice on an outside onto the announced table and on in the ring to get the free count Parker though with the and get Parker though with the then get our own or a tribute. We shouldn't have no or taken through the arcade sense or agent further. I'm unsure if it's a heel turn or not because I don't really know the WWE internal laws are actually lists. I am actually list Jada Parker and Sabina Faye is a heel. She's kind of on the on the kind of walks a fine line, even though it's not been explicitly stated on TV that she's a either. It's kind of an odd situation, but throughout the course of that match, guys, you see the split screen and you see Giovanni Evans making his way to the arena, and he's very despondent about his loss to Oba. If so, that's the next live segment in the arena. But before we get to the we see in the back we see Ariana Grace and stuff kind of flirting with each other. Then you see Ariana try some of the makeup sponsor the NXT sponsor, but I am a cheeky wee sponsor not here I kinda hate those and I kinda wish I should do a bit more with the other Yana Grace stacks storyline. I genuinely was excited for it at the start, but they've kinda dialed back on that a bit. But then you see Billy Aikman and Ariana Grace have a discussion. Ariana points out that there's rather humorous that she's not related to Jordan Grace and that she supports Bill Wakeman role and obviously taking apart Jordan Grace and the two of them are the two most glamorous women on the roster are Bill Wakeman and Row actually says to Mariana, it's nice to see that someone shares my sophistication. There was a rather humorous video by the heel marks um well, a Turk out before the show within the name but each Monroe is having fun with the crowd outside to the performance and can the crowd in that performance and sort of are really out there and I do and you know really what like a do a you know like or and do and I was over with and as a kid going go on to all the parks and stuff like that and the people were friendly they've headed out there as well and yeah that wee video outside the performance centre was no different and obviously but Monroe was soaking it up. I just thought I'd add to that and here before we press on the end Blakeman or Spies Jordan is but Jordan actually subs but Jordan actually subs evolved Cowley and strong out the way, and yeah, and Cal, he actually says this is the second time you've disrespected the Evolve Women's Champion getting involved in that. I match a couple of months ago with Carmen Petrovic, and now you now you've sort of now the yeah we want you tonight. So that's it. Supper match for later on in the night. So then we get the Java on Vince segment, and he responds. He responds to his own. Or so he spoke about how is going into the most confident he's ever been. He said he's still to check out his match with Obafemi. He was really hyped. He was telling and now he was going to become the youngest NXT and champion and there wasn't a doubt in his mind he was going but then he said I'll let you all down me and then the fans I let myself down, I let my family down the kind of standard pickle baby face and Romo after a big defeat. And and if only could move on to his next point, he gets interrupted by Taker's the F bell under Taker's famous the F bell. You hear him, you hear a bit like outside, or even or even you think it's going to be the Undertaker, but then and you see the Titan and Tron, oh, I, you see Josh Briggs' Titan Tron and you hear his music and he says to Evans, "Are you expecting somebody else?" Well, oh no, you're getting me. You're not the Undertaker. Not the Undertaker. You don't have what it takes to beat over Amy. I do. You've had multiple chances, including triple threat matches, singles matches, etc. And the thing is, with your generation, you'll write it up on social media how you were hard on, but I accept, it's a very good promo. You had the NXT um crowd chant "Shut the fuck up" again, and actually turned their back to Briggs, but or Briggs is like a Ted DiBiase, Dominic Mysterio type evil heat wrestler. Or he is like a heat magnet if you put two out the services next to each other. I think Josh Briggs would still have the more heat. That, but yeah, very good promo. Strange little leads to a bit of a brawl. Josh Briggs gets it upper hand. He kind of scoots out the and he chokes all Giovanni Evans into the open chair that he set up. And yeah, that's the end of the segment. Good segment here, and I'm really enjoying Josh Riggs. Still kind of curious as to why he's there to the owner Saints on last week's episode if he's only for is Javon Evans. But I'm not complaining about this, this feud. Um, no, I mean I do like Josh Riggs. I think he's a good heel, and Vaughn is perhaps the best or athlete in NXT in terms of his agility. Is between him over and I think Armin Petrovich as well, because she's quite a good athlete. You could also throw Jada Parker into that mix, maybe Ashley Agent as well, where she's a former basketball, a basketball star, so yeah, you can kind of tell that NXT's got the edge in the main roster on in terms of athleticism. That would be an interesting debate to have with Sean, but I need to get him to actually tune into NXT a bit more, but we'll have to see about that. Now the next match on the card is obviously for the WWE um Championship. Now this this match happens after Ava announces there'll be a triple threat tag team number one contenders match for the WWE tag titles. You have Zarya and Soul Ruka. You have Fatal Influence, and you have Tatum Paxley and as a aim and they're um, and they're all kind of in and petitioning Ava for a shot, but then she decides, okay, enough of arguing, it'll be a triple threat match for the number one contendership for the right to face Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, and obviously on the Fatal Influence side of things, it'll be it'll be Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley more than likely. That'll be the Fatal Influence, even the triple threat, because JC Jane is JC Jane has got bigger fish to fry at the minute with of ice, so they do get a nice sort of build up package detailing of Ice's upbringing and a Cuban cult and a Cuban culture. Will they get the chance to see her get the chance to see her and sister, and I think next week they'll get to see her father, as she's about to touch on her kickboxing background. I really will help produce. I really I really will help produce sort of any documentary here. That's something you can't fault WWE. But they always do a good promotional package, and it's the same, and it's the same, and it's the same one with if the two participants in the WWE Speed Championship and then this episode, because the next that's the next match on the card. You get promos from both for both Zaya Brookside and Candice Ray, and they're both saying that they're going to and the WWE Speed Championship, etc. Is the Brooke side is obviously the TNA representative in this competition, and she has a past of wrestling in Japan, and she had a past at the in for the cancelled NXT UK arm. Um, she had some awesome she had some awesome matches on NXT UK, and in my opinion, bit is like kind of a big mistake to cancel in that show because it did provide like a parachute for the UK wrestlers to try and make it one time to WWE, but in any case, the promo packages were very well on Candace actually details she's already held the Speed Championship and she's going to be by her outside tonight on her kick option a second or on and yeah of promos are really well on or really well shot and all from the Bowie's perspective, we've already spoke about the production value, and yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed them, but the matches, predictability is only the rima and it's only rima and it's all on because of the rules of the speed tournament and it's kind of the a service it's kind of a service to both competitors. Also, they're both really good in the ring. You've got Candice, who's a veteran. She's probably in the second half of her career now. She's travelled all over American promotions. Um, she's now managing DIY. She was as a major part of the NXT power hacking old era. In the second half, she's married to Johnny Gargano, who she met at a pro wrestling a show, and she's good and she's not really held any championships on the main roster or as of yet. I don't really know if I should include the WWE Speed title because it's kind of a half and half title between NXT stars and main roster talent as to who has held it, and the current champion is Soul who's on the NXT brand at the moment. And so you see how I've said that. So yeah, um, but yeah, and you've got Zaya Burke side who's also operative travel. Again, the Scousers are really good. The Scousers are really good producing pro wrestling. As you've had Zach Gibson, you had Zach Epson, James Rake, you've had Hannah Taylor are on the end. So you've had you've had Harold Hudson, who's also under any contract at the moment, and who's also a huge star on the indie circuit. So yeah, and Zaya Bird looks like um joins that company as she's travelled to Japan. She's had countless matches across the UK. She's had the brief taste at WWE before or and the NXT UK ran etc. So she kinda knows she kinda knows her stuff, and she's a good wrestler. But unfortunately the speed championship is only 3 minutes long, and unfortunately it didn't give enough time to show you what both wrestlers have basically have offer. I mean, Zaya Brooke said especially alone what a charge has been expressed since she signed with Yenny not too long ago, and obviously you can see why, but the speed matches are far too short, and it makes the opponent um, makes the opponent kind of look a bit pathetic, to be honest, and it it's, and Zaya Brooke said came up short in some match, and this can this gets a victory. Obviously, obviously, Isaiah visited and take to X and should say that this is not um um this is not the end for me, and should put the Aloha hashtag of NXT and ENA, and should put the assistant over, so we'll probably see her pop up again in the near future during the crossover, and I'm happy about that because I'm not very sure or sold on the speed on the speed um onset. I think there was a reason why was cancelled on X is because it's a failed experiment and hard to tell if they tuned in. It's a similar situation to the WWE evolve at the minute. Those are two concepts that have just not really found to the mark as of yet. And yeah, that's not a yeah, that's not yeah, that's not a cheap sort of that's not a cheap I get and I'm just saying that that's not really resonated with offended so yeah but yeah can't advances and to the next match in the tournament will be terrible is Fabio Apache against against Tom in it. I assume that's probably your next will show and the final will be the following week. I fully expect already to get the victory over Fabio Apache because I think Reed is somebody they have high hopes for, and she's already been sort of interacting with the likes of Fatal Influence, and in particular Audrey Easy Jane. But yeah, that's a WWE speed update taking care of. It's not really a type of it's not really a type of appealisation, and this is kind of more for the TikTok sort of idol casual fans rather than your pro wrestling tourists. So yeah, but in the back. And the you see Hank try and get Ethan Page and Ethan Page and Oberfe and the right on the same age. Um he the oh see the oh see overall take a look at him. He's absolutely a key saint. He's a Harold Trinidad and he'll have your back tonight. Oh, it's just to like well these guys they kind of it's it kind of has a sort of oh for God's sake facial expression on his face, and then you have Ricky Saints have the same expression and the hyper over and then Hankin and actually if the world or hard and it's actually is is over family but or have my back and he says don't worry about me worry about yourself and then um then anyway he actually get a hypothetical on the evolve and champion cow Armstrong and then guys we get to cow Armstrong versus Jordan Grace. Armstrong um, Armstrong, och så so she can handle herself another thing, but ultimately, she the her all the Jordan Grace's packed each pile Ivar Jordan Grace gets about actually after the hunt for match obviously well, another or Archie so attached to Orton after them match the two of them have a row um on the outside and I know this way I know this way or it's to another couple uh, uh, and she kinda gives and she gives a kind of and she gives a kind of cycle she gives a kind of cycle uh, on her face and yeah the facial expression is perfect as she has a sort of as she has a sort of vanity complex as a hue and her nickname as the girl. Um and so was she's gonna get a bit psychoed and she's kind of is up so you so you I really enjoyed that bit character development and um in the back um in the back the oh you see Joe in the back though you see Joe Osh you see Joe Osh her eggs have an argument and if Tracy and Tracy stick her foot in it because Josh her eggs over here um having a discussion about whether um her eggs and Javon Evans about early on Josh her egg says Josh Buttocks if you two have a problem with I don't know if they to the send the ring and injury your chase comes to uh, um to you or I on nothing killed that since um if Anthony says I'll see you in the ring with a Tottenham. I am as obviously the unlucky to put on Jerry up. That it's very obvious on Arsenal Dick put all in the strings here, but yeah. But yeah, still no heel on for Chase as of right now. Of so even in chats, even in chats, Ethan age and Avion Heights about the match for next week, another office, and um, and Avion Heights is Ethan Page here. Here's a Canadian fella. I here's a Canadian fella. I back and he tosses it back to the age. As age actually then he directly to over on the last episode, and age actually he says, Avion, I can't accept the assessment as a gift. You understandable on its own, to be a true a trait, a trait, a trait, a trait, and so a fa, and under honor, civility, and until others, Eva then makes a match for next to each, and Ethan kinda interrupts Eva, and he says, um, and the, and he says, Eva Williams, you all know all that going to make next, you're going to make next week's, you're going to make next week's match, a a foul. I can match, and Eva, and Eva says no, I wasn't, but so, and she interrupted me. It's now Heights and Page and a four. I match. So yeah, so yeah, that gets taken care of. You see, Trick Williams on the and the ring. He talks about how he was doing promotional um promotional things for the NXT home an event for deadline at the end of the year for NXT LC and for TNA, but out um out for Joe um, out for Joe Ori, and obviously um Trick Williams Trick Williams hails himself the best NXT wrestler of all time. The hails that nobody in the street or around to the city of Orlando um of Orlando is bothered about uh, is bothered about NXT anymore, and he said and he says either I'm I am as soon as I want, as soon as I want, either or until I'm going to either Raw or SmackDown straight to the main event. That's freaking a title as the key to that. Outcomes outcomes to my actual Champa and Johnny Gargano and Johnny Gargano. They then say they, they, they then say the Chiracaba the in a comp is and then next they say they were on a part of the fabled war African Gold era um Champa Champa is he is a two-time NXT champion a former tag champion Johnny Gargano is the first ever NXT Triple Crown champion. He said he says he's on the NXT championship. He said they on the NXT North American championship three times. And he's also been an NXT tag champion and also says he's a two-time NXT champion. He's a he's an he's a former NXT North American champion, but then the two guys actually come back and have none of the members of I have held ENA championship. Oh, and just started ups into roll but in I and obviously correct now. I think this will either be a triple threat with if Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa and Trick, or you could maybe make it a fatal four, a fatal four would and um and Santana Santana to the match. I think that would I think that would be a logical explanation because you have cause you have Santana in the background kinda kinda another shot. So yeah, that would make sense. Well, yeah, and it could also be the end for DIY as a tag team, because I think they've run worse, and I think that would be a good, kinda, that would be a kinda good to kinda one Ciampa and Johnny Gargano obviously, obviously we have to see, and then we make it to Josh, and then we'll get to Josh or versus Andre Chase. Andre Chase actually puts up a good fight here. He gets a good amount of offense in as usual. But ultimately he falls out to the Josh Briggs kind of and obviously Josh Briggs gets the free. He just destroys it just destroys accent and on on the outside, and obviously and obviously that gets a big reaction after he choke slams on us through the table. Oh, the how that show he can't use those up and and throughout the and throughout the actual history is he can't teach woman he or ex woman he and you can see he's getting a heat and and guys it's and and guys so you see before that actually see Eva actually chat to Giovanni Evans telling him not to get involved. I'll get your actually after or if you don't interfere. So you don't see Giovanni Evans again and and guys it's not out time for your and Hank and Tank another Saints and over Femi defeat Ox 8 by pinfall. All all one of the faces Hank and Tank's famous L is warm hash and yeah and that takes us into the ads and then Ox big into Ikitra and he just as uh and as and like you see it's actually uh into the uh and obviously later he's thanking thanking Sitva and he's just a full on the the um I think it's total on the aims at the and says nobody's only help you you're the ultras that are going to exit ones of you you've got no off friends to ag and the and Hank shouts, shouts to Joe Hendry's music actually starts. Joe Hendry provides a distraction. Hank and Tank do and he's the high wall, and then get the pin on Kittle on James, and earlier on, and then you actually you saw talk about the a security guards, etc. Or I is actually he talks about how he was I for I for the um I for the on the neural inch you had you know and actually he talked about how he was supposed to be this bookable character and about how and about how she Amos and Evelyn I am also spent time as security. So you a very interesting episode. Um a very interesting episode. I'm gonna give this episode an 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna give it any higher because the NXT this the NXT it it off. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. It concept. I think the concept's a failed experiment. Now everything's going to succeed. It just kinda makes a person who's in the actual recover or the done. And it's such a shame because I am or website has a lot offer. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section on this episode. Did you enjoy it? Are you a fan of are you fan of WWE? And are you a fan of Zaya Rickside? And let me know your thoughts on the episode, and I'll see you all very soon for on another video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if possible. It's free and it doesn't cost a penny. And yes, thanks. And yes, thanks. And then